Hello everyone, this is Samuel again. Today is May 2nd, Saturday. Um, Thank you very much for my friends concerned. Yes, the issue of work now have been resolved. My next video, I will tell you more about it. But for now, I just want to talk about stock and what things are going on in the U.S. stock market. The U.S. stock finished last week April on a very strong note, with the S&P 500 and Nasdaq composite hitting fresh record highs and extended a multi-week rally. And you can see that Nasdaq at 25,114 in really Nasdaq have been doing really good, and 72 S&P 500 is doing really good, 7230, and actually intraday high 7272. Okay. The move was primarily driven by blockbuster earnings for mega cap tech, especially Alphabet, Amazon, and Apple, which reinforced confidence in AI-driven growth and cloud demand. So overall, Microsoft and Meta also reporting very good earnings. However, there was some concern about, they want to focus more money on capex. So then, basically what it is when you have capex, is recorded the cost in the income statement, financials. So therefore, that will rip off your net income or EBITDA, reporting the earnings. Then the number may not be sounds as great. This is why Wall Street kind of and also individual investor also going to watch for that numbers, right? But however, you also have to bear in mind that yes, if the company does not invest, it's not going to be able to translate bigger earnings in the future, right? So this is where really Meta actually have been proving itself very well a few times that the stock have really hammered after earnings and talk about things that are not going well with focusing more on AI spending. However, then the stock actually being rewarded for reported earnings, reporting that the growth and continues, and which have a really positive outlook. For Microsoft, I do want to show you that the graph right now, we in a 1 month comparison is still 11% down. Actually, to start again, for those who have listened to my video, noted that it was about 550, right? 500 plus, and it really dropped it to as low as $378. It was really a quick buy right now. I mean, even though at $400, because for long term target price is still $500 to $550. The concern again is just the spending. That Microsoft going to be on that, and with the growth, whether it really align with the ratio. If you do a ratio, when it makes sense now. But this start again, they're making money, and they're paying dividend. So I think it's good to continue to look at it in the long term. Meta was the same, but as soon as the earning announcement came out, the stock dropped $60 in a day, which are like 10%. But again, the stock in a month is still up by 6%, and I think Zuckerberg will do something to make sure that the company will continue to be profit and do well. So again, Microsoft and Meta, compare all of those, mega tech were a little bit lagging, but I really believe that you will continuously on these companies will continue proving themselves. So you'll be doing well. The other thing is, because of the AI demand is still continue to grow, and Nvidia will announce earning on May 20. AMD is going to announce earning on coming Tuesday, but AMD stock have been already up quite a bit. So you look at that, one of the stock I'll talk about, if you have paid attention to it, have actually gone up significantly, and right now it's at $140. So it is really a quick stock to invest at the beginning, and I bought it very early at $55, as I said. So now finally they come back and rebound. So sometimes you got to give times for the stock to come back. You can't expect today you buy and you make money tomorrow. That's gambling. So the stock symbol ACLS, you can check it out, and then you listen to my video properly, last year or so, and you will hear me that this stock have been the one that when you compare to Nvidia was growing, but this one is pulling back. It's a good one to buy. Okay, again, all of the mega tech, Alphabet and Amazon are a really great winner, and Apple actually have been doing well. For those who have listened to my video, I was predicting Apple going to be $290, so it's very close. At intraday high Friday, you see $285. So normally the stock was slipping back to the very peak, but hopefully, but I think the Apple iPhone sales is little still lagging, but everything else is doing good. The cloud business doing well, so I think it will be pretty doing well, and we'll see how things shake up. Now I want to talk about some of the stuff I mentioned, from a previous video. So robots has not been doing well, but somebody asked me when to buy robots. I think it's about time to consider buying it now. So for the price, for the one who don't know, I didn't follow robots. I bought it $40 and I sold it around $90, right? Which huge profit. However, the stock continued to rocket it to 1 year high is like $147. And then you tip it back down. So I bought some back around 90 $100, $90, $80, you name them. So my average was pretty high. So right now I'm losing money. But again, because the lawsuit also when they make the announcement, the subscribers actually have reduced. So this make the stock actually drop 20% after the announcement. I'm still thinking, the stock at the time I talk about, some are going to buy them out, and if they buy now with the lawsuit going on, maybe a little lower than what anticipated, but it's still going to be a pretty attractive offer if that ever happens, right? Or the stock will eventually self-corrected with the lawsuit gets settled, and they have a way to have new games coming up and make people more attractive to get back to the gaming and increasing subscribers. Okay, and XPE and HYLN Helium, which is the one I've talked about a lot of time. Helium haven't been doing too well, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying at the moment. It was ranging about $1.78. If you want to buy it, you want to buy a range about that, $1.75, $1.78, and then you sell at about $2. That gives you 10% return, which will have actually probably making few in a month. You could have few opportunities there. Okay, but for those who bought it, much higher prices, obviously you still have to hold on to it. Hopefully that the 100 billion business potential will eventually materialize, that they will create the engine to sell to Saudi Aramco. So for Xpeng, the stock have been coming back down. If you look at 6 months comparison, 33%. So I think now is a good time to buy. They're about to gonna talk about the earnings, which is talk about sales, whether they continue to be growing or not. I mean, the EV space have been a challenge this year, but with the oil prices have been gone up so high, if you think about it, there should be some momentum, right, for EV stock. This stock again, at one point they were talking about having a showcase and about new innovation. I think it's helicopter flying cars. So then the stock had gone up to $28 at one point, which is this high peak right there. At the some point of earlier than beginning of the year, and then when you dropped, right, and you have been dropping since then. But right now I think it's a very good position if you want to consider buying some in, and then if you want to sell it, when you sell in like less close to $20, like 1950, it will be a good position point to exit. Then it will still give you a pretty good return for for next month when the momentum happens. Okay. The next stock is more speculative. I want to talk about, for those who have been listening to my video, is TMRC. So this one have been doing pretty good for speculations. Again, speculation involve a higher risk than other stock I have mentioned, like like more solid stock like Microsoft, Meta, because they are making money. Nvidia, but this one is more for short-term gaining. You watch the market. So you will buy around 80 cents and then sell at $1. For those who listen to my video, should profit about 20%. But right now, $1.10, wouldn't recommend buying it till you go back to single digit again. The next target price is looking at $1.20 for those who have holding the stock right now. I think it will be good to sell them. This one is not for long-term holding, just that but it's more for short-term gain. If you can do trade like 4 times a year, and you bought 80 cents and you sold it for $1, right? You actually literally you have 80% return, right? And again, don't put too much money on this stock because it's more speculated. You can look at your risk, how much stomach appetite that you can really, hold yourself into, because, it's very volatile. And then the other one is um, B, BNZI. I've been tracking this stock for a while. I think this one will be good to buy right now at 30 cents. At one point here, like a month ago, it's actually a dollar, jump up to dollar, from a dollar, keeps slipping down. This really now is kind of probably at the lowest end, is opportunity to buy again. This one, I just bought it for $500. I'm not gonna bother with it with the $500 as an investment. Either you make it or not make it, right? And now set, as soon as you buy it and you got it, you set the Luma sell 68 cents to 72 cents. Okay, when my video hit, when you hit those kind of price, you hear me in my video. So keep stay tuned and listen to my video. And also, one last thing take away for today is S&P index is projected to be 7,300, so very close to it. So, and then you will probably slip back after the earnings season is over. Like I said, we still have a lot of retail business news earnings are going to be announced that will count on you how really forecasting the global economy as well as U.S. in the coming months. And then again, the catalyst will be for the mid-year, which is the election. And the war will actually eventually going to be end. So those are the two catalysts that can driving. And oil price is expected going to be going down because of that. Normally the market will react to it. Whether realistically we're still actually short of supply or not is it could be really potential, you know different thing, right? Because perception versus reality. So, and I think that this time, instead of seeing a V shape, you see an M shape. So what that means is, projection is when the earnings season's done, the index is going to start to slip, could be 15 to 20%. Then you will be reverse again and rebounding to another high and end of the year. Okay, I hope this video do well. Everybody is healthy, happy, and actually make money in the stock market. Thank you very much.